we're just gonna be talking about Fire Emblem Engage because you and I, like, we were like nerds about Fire Emblem. We are like geeks.
we are just a little bit cultured, just a little bit knowledgeable
A
on the
little bit
series.
obsessed. I have thoughts about the art direction. I did not like the art direction for the game just because I felt like Fire Emblem has a very specific medium fantasy aesthetic. And I feel like the art direction that they went with Fire Emblem Engage, it's a lot of very like bright colors with very like clean patterns. Like if you look at older designs, kind of like in Path of Radiance, like there are bright colors, but there isn't like a lot of intricacy when it comes to like the patterns. I like what the designs are like on paper. Like if I looked at them, I was like, these are like nice designs, but they're very like, a lot of them are very impractical, and it's not like impractical outfits haven't existed before in Fire Emblem, but like they're very like not realistic.
In regards to the art direction, I personally adore it because I've been following Mika Picasso's art for like a very long time, and when I heard that she was going to be doing the art for Fire Emblem Engage, I kind of lost it. Okay, I'm a little bit biased on the art direction.
How do you feel about the very introduction of the game? The fact that you're at Divine Dragon?
So, are we playing Fates again? Honestly, I feel it a little bit more closer to Tiki than I do to Korin. So, I feel like it's more its own thing than it is to Fates. So for like the introduction in general, they just kind of throw you in there like no info whatsoever, which is somewhat common for some Fire Emblem games, especially Three Houses, which was all mysterious and like, but it's a lot more straightforward. Cause like, good dragon good, bad dragon bad type of thing,
Yeah, green dragon good, purple dragon bad. It feels like a simplified storytelling of what Fire Emblem games are like. So it's very open for new people to get into the franchise.
I agree, but like at the same time I play this game and I'm like, wow, if I wasn't a Fire Emblem fan, I would not have been enjoying this. It got leaked the summer before it got announced. So when the leaked images popped up, it looked like straight out of like a Photoshop. Like it just did not look real. And like imagine just seeing Aliar for the protagonist for the first time before it was even announced. Would you think that is real? It's just Joy-Con colors.
I think she's meant to show a duality of personality, of past and present, good and evil, which is why she's two colored. I feel like that's how they made the game. It feels like everything is just like very like surface level meaning, which is why it's a very good game of for new Fire Emblem fans, but for like already established Fire Emblem fans, it feels like this is just kind of like a repeat of a game we've already played. I cannot, for the life of me, imagine a Fire Emblem fan that has played every single Fire Emblem and went, oh no, the parent figure dies?
Oh my goodness.
What? I saw her and I was just like, yeah, you'll die in a chapter. However, that was a scene that was very well performed and still got me teary-eyed, despite me knowing that she was gonna die.
My only thing that I have against it is that it was surprisingly long. Like most important deaths just go on for like 30 to 50 seconds at most. That cutscene was like at the very least 3 minutes long.
Yeah, that they could have done with a little brevity, like if it was just a little bit shorter, but it was still like well performed, and it was just such an honest conversation between a parent and a long lost child. In Fire Emblem Fates,
Environment.
when Xander kills Elise, I laughed.
It was so out of nowhere. She just jumped in the way.
I laughed when Numerada. I felt that there wasn't very like obnoxious like music in the background. Like the setting was just right. to set the scene for a very sorrowful farewell, and it was just so good. I loved watching that scene, even though I knew it was gonna happen.
I will say though, I do wish they kind of at least gave us a chapter of using her. Just one chapter at the very least. That way we could get a little bit more attached to her. But like other than that, like props off to the actors. Like they popped off. They actually popped off with that cutscene. It just feels to me like we're playing a Tiki perspective, where you just woke up from a nap. You have no idea what the world is like, and it could be scary.
Oh. Hey, see, that makes sense.
Yeah,
That makes sense, and I feel like I could agree. But I don't like that because Tiki is just so much more interesting earlier. Oh, every time I think about this, it makes me really sad. But like, just imagine like Tiki has finally a friend with Marmar,
and
and
speed
then
up.
you play her in Awakening,
So
and she's just lost everyone.
everyone is gone.
Every time I think about that, it makes me so sad that she just fell asleep, and when she woke up, the only friend that she ever knew is gone. That's why I think Tiki is just so much more interesting, because in Awakening you really gain a perspective of what it means to lose everything through her, and Aleer doesn't feel that because she doesn't remember anything. Now I don't know if she'll remember at some point, but that doesn't matter. The introduction is that her characterization is built upon not knowing, so she can't feel the pain of the things that she lost.
The one thing I will say though, I do prefer this way over the way that they did it with Corrin.
I mean, with Corrin, it's just like, Corrin, you're so stupid. Corrin, Corrin, why do you do the things that you do?
Who are you hoping for emblems as DLC?
I would like Soren. We'll probably get Chris,
Oh,
Robin.
I so wish.
Chrom. We might get Chrom and Robin in the same ring.
Oh, I duo
We'll probably get-
Robin, ayo.
We'll probably get On. I feel like Hector and Eliwood are pretty good candidates.
I hope they both get in, and especially Hector, because Hector keeps getting shafted for whatever reason.
I am glad that in Engage they went back to just using 3D models to make the scenes where characters actually move instead of having like an animation.
Pre-rendered
'Cause I
cutscenes, yes.
I feel like in Three Houses the animation scenes were good, but I feel like because they were animations, there were so few of them that like they had to cut back on them. It's very immersion breaking to see the Death Knight just walk up, just like, "Hello, I am the Death Knight, walking in front of you. I am in front of you.
What are you
Don't you
doing?"
want to attack me?"
It's so funny to me because he just walks up to all of you. He's like, "What are you doing here?" Like that. I still think Death Knight is probably one of the best characters in the entire game. Loki, like, if you were to tell me that Death Knight was,
I did.
Eh, no, I was just gonna say that if you were to tell me that Death Knight was like, he obviously doesn't compare to Black Knight, but like, if you were to tell me that they're essentially,
I was gonna
no.
hit you back so hard.
No, the Black Knight is hands down like one of the best characters in the entire series. But like, if you were to tell me that the Death Knight was like very, very similar to Black Knight, I would have loved him already, because like, my goodness, and his design, oh.
I think his design is over the top. And when every other character in the game looks so boring, his design is just too much. It's just too much.
That's what makes it great. That's what makes it great.
It's just so, like, when we have kids in their uniforms over here and we have Mr. Phantom of the Opera standing over there.
I am a little bit sad that they kind of took away the tea time. I say that as I'm drinking tea right now.
I'm okay with not having it because that means one less thing to grind. I already know that the pet adoption mechanic is super important to getting like cool weapons. I don't want to have another mechanic that is meant to give you like a little bit of a boost. I have to have my character maxed at level 20 and not level them up to a different class so that they can grind SP till they get 1500, so that I can use a second seal and put them back into the same class so that they can get more points into their class so that they can get into their advanced class with more points! And I'm so tired!
True that.
And I have to do that 15 times!
I would say though, Engage does a really good job at being engaging. Like actually addicting.
Shut up, you and your stupid puns. Get out of here. I wish that Tiki would have replaced Marth. It's like a parallel. It's like they're the same thing. It's like she knows her destiny so that she can be a mentor to Alir. And now because I want her skills to be part of the base game, so you don't have to buy the season pass, so you can get the skill that makes everybody into a villager. No, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm just talking about a story perspective. I think it makes more sense for it to be Tiki rather than Marth. I feel like Marth should like comment more on how he took care of Tiki.
Okay.
Because it's Alir. It's a divine dragon.
Low-key, I slightly disagree. The way I see it, at the very least, I feel like Marth relates to Aliar in the same way that he relates to Tiki. He's just taking care of Aliar, you know? I feel like that's a very homey move, not just in terms of like the story, but also in characters with Marth, because Marth really just is that type of person that he would do that. I feel like they definitely did it right there.
I think a nice thing is that it is parallel to the first Fire Emblem because I believe Marth is there to see Tiki fall asleep. I like that, like, sentiment. I think that's a nice... But the thing is, since they don't talk about it, since he doesn't talk about Tiki in the game, it's like wasted potential a little bit.
I feel like everything just still circles back to like, we'll find out more later in the story.
I know.
I feel like everything just kind of circles back to
if Tiki shows up as a character.
Okay, let's not put our hopes up there. You're making me dream a little bit too much there.
It's a theory, okay? It's a theory.
Again,
we can theorize. Plenty of people have made theories and been wrong. Let me dream, Mom!
What's the theory for Aliar's blue side of the hair getting the bed head and not the red side?
Only half of my hair has conditioner.
The other half just doesn't stick with it. Oh man, I
can be your angle or your double.
I still find that very interesting because if you look at male Aliar with blue hair completely, they just kind of look like Marth. They really just do.
So, what do you think that Alir's final... Because we know that she's gonna get like a ascended form. What do you think it's gonna look like? Like Byleth with the green hair and like...
Oh, that's even like it's story based.
Yeah, story based.
I would say that it's probably like blue hair side, red hair side. I think that's probably the ascended form, because we do see the red hair side on the like opening. So I assume that's gonna be the case.
So I thought that her ascended form was just gonna be blue.
Just blue.
Yeah, just blue. Because we see that there's an evil one that's just red, so that must mean that there is a just blue one, because this game functions on like the most surface level, like quote-unquote deep meaning. Like, oh, get it, they're the flower kingdom because they're farmers. Oh, get it, they're the evil kingdom because they're purple. They're the irrelevant kingdom because we don't hear about them until like 15 chapters into the game. I haven't been there yet, but I'm putting down my money that it's just like a useless kingdom that's not going to be relevant to the story. We haven't even talked about the gameplay, by the way. I really like the gameplay. I feel like Fire Emblem is finally fun again. Same.
Like 3 Houses was fun, but like for a singular run, I would say. Echoes was also fun, with a very few exceptions. I feel like the gameplay in Engage has no flaws. Like this is just, I know I'm putting my whole gamble there. It's just really good. It's just generally the best gameplay.
I like that the maps are simplified and smaller. I remember these like huge maps and fates, and it just gave me a headache just thinking about them. Mages are kind of really strong in this game because a lot of enemies are physical.
Honestly, that just goes with Fire Emblem. When was magic ever not broken?
Yeah.
Every single game.
We're gonna talk about this because I really want to. Like, how do you feel about like the way that they've changed the staples of one, like the red and green cavalier, and two, the villager class?
I'm just loving that every single modern Fire Emblem game has been doing that lately, and I'm all for it. It's not that I get bored of it, it's just that it's very interesting seeing them into different classes. I love Cain and
Yeah,
Abel. Like, Cain and Abel,
because
our class is one of my favorites.
Because they're twins, they're green and red, they are the red and green cavalier archetype. But they're a mage and a cleric. You get a cleric right off the bat. That is
Let's go.
so fun. That is so fun. Because
A
usually
cleric that I
environments
accidentally
I
killed
have
already.
to.
I think we both know what Bill is going to be.
I don't know yet. I'm kind of confused with the direction they're going with Vale. It feels like some sort of like parallel universe, or like what could have been scenario, or like they're actually twins. I don't know how to feel about Vale.
we
she's
don't know
just-
her yet.
Like I'm just like, oh, this character's gonna be important, I guess. Because you see her over and over again. It's just like, well, we're talking to her for a reason.
But only you and Martha have seen her.
No.
For some reason.
No, that is true. I'm gonna stop talking.
all right. I'll find out.
My bad. My bad.
No worries. No
My bad.
worries.
Final thoughts, 9 out of 10.
I would say 9.5 for me.
Yeah,
Just-
I think it is an extremely good Fire Emblem game. I just have a few gripes, but it is still like a really fun experience. I'm just so happy that Fire Emblem's fun again.